speed test now. Well, not a test, just to show you the effects of the recovery speed and what it does. There's the coin. Hole is about 10 inches deep, which is good depth on a small target like that. It's the size of a modern penny, but it's Charles II. I think it's a farthing. Small coin. So Charles II, 10 inches. Put that in the ground. Yeah, so pop you over here so you can see what's going on. So, fill the hole. Just to try and help some people that are out in the field and don't really understand the machine. If you just stick with one program and don't adjust it, you're going to lose some stuff. Only silly adjustments, really easy. Just right over to the far hand side, far right hand side, you've got the recovery speed. That's your main settings for adjustments really. If you want to go, if you're on a really busy site and you want to get in between all the trash, go to number 8 or number 6 I'd say, but you can go all the way up to number 8, which is the fastest it will go. But every time you go up recovery speed, your depth drops, and when you come down recovery speed, your depth gains, but it's always at a cost. So if you wanted really to go really deep on a really trashy site with loads of Roman boot nails or something, you're going to struggle. So you need to balance it. So if it's really trashy, you want to be about 6, 7, 8. If it's not too bad, 4, 5, 6. And if it's really clear, 1, 2, 3. So then it's all about balancing it up. So let's just have a look at what's happening now. So 10 inches, Charles II coin, and we're in, what are we in? Recovery speed of 1. Banging signal, you get that all day long. Coming in at 18, 20. Let's go up now. We go from 1 all the way up to number 8. So push the settings button, push button all the way up to number 8. Push the detect button. What sensitivity are we on? We're on 25 sensitivity maximum. So now we're on recovery speed 8. Still getting it, but it's very faint. So if I bring it up, it's gone. So if you go slow, if you've got recovery speed of 8 and you sweep really, really slow, you're not going to hear the target. So let's just do that again. So recovery speed of 8, there's a coin at 10 inches and you're going really slow. Nothing. So that's recovery speed 8, Charles II coin at 10 inches. Going slow. Let's go to recovery speed of 1. You can't miss that, that's banging out. But if I go really slow in recovery speed of 1, it should amplify the signal. Instead of it being in fast recovery speed, it doesn't. You've got to go faster, but not too fast because you will miss targets. It's about balancing it out again. But let's go really slow with reactivity of 1, recovery speed of 1. So if you go too fast, it's going to struggle. So you just want count roughly 2 seconds each sweep. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So with a recovery speed, let's go up into, let's go up now. So that's recovery speed of 1, that was. Recovery speed 2, still there. Recovery speed 3, still there. 4, So it's still there. You've got to have your ears tuned in. So it's not massive effects, but from having just a whisper to, so you've got that. You probably missed that if you was walking along and it was mineralised site. It just sounds like what you get anywhere. So then from 8, and I'll go straight down to 1 now and listen to the difference. Well, I'm back in the garden now. I just had an idea that from what I've showed you, you couldn't really understand what was happening. You understand what's happening, but you couldn't see what was happening under the ground, and this gives you a rough idea of the effects of changing the recovery speed and what depths it gets you. This is 8. Just drops off there. Right, now we're going to go change that down now to 1. So one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. That was coming in at 9 inches. About there, so that's 14.5 inches. So that just shows you you've got to pick the right recovery speed to suit the land that you're on. If you've got to weigh it up. If you put it into 4 or 5 to start with, that's a brilliant mid-range, and you don't miss a lot in them. But then so always use 4 or 5, I would say, recovery speed. And then if you're walking across the field and it's going, you can hear the nails everywhere. You think this is occupation, which could be Roman, medieval, something like that. So you think, right, I've got to slow it all down now, and I've got to get a faster recovery speed. If it's really trashy, go right up. But just because you've got a fast recovery speed doesn't mean you can go 100 miles an hour. And the other end of the spectrum, if you're walking across the field and you're in recovery speed 4 or 5, and you're not getting many signals, it's really quiet, and you're walking around, there should be stuff here, the house is here, stuff like that, there should be history here. It's probably deeper, so you've got more of a chance then to get your recovery speed and drop that down to 1, 2, roughly there, 1 or 2. And that, if you go to 1, still go slow, and you will punch deeper. So that's recovery speed and what effects it has. A good way, say if you're in, just do it again. Go ahead. Recovery speed of 8. We're going to go really slow. If you can't help but do it if you're on a Roman site and there's nails everywhere and you want to get in between the nails. If the stuff's not deep, going slow you will find it. But if the stuff's deep, and you're going like that, you just walk straight past it. So have a reasonable sweep speed, and if you get that little, it's just there, look, something just there. If you want to check that signal to see if it is a target, whip it a bit faster. It brings it to life for some reason. Don't ask me why, it does. Go slow. So if you're in a fast recovery speed, just to keep in mind, it's not scientific on it, but if you've got a little whisper, you think, oh, is that a deep target? Whip it, and then if you're on the slow reactivity, recovery speed, it's the opposite. You can't go too fast then, you can't try and whip it then. You've just got to, at 1, 2, count to 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's what I use. Everyone's different, that's just my opinion, and that's the way I use the machine. And it seems to work. There's some good stuff. Let me try the single frequencies now, just to see, because the multi-frequency is the best frequency to be if you can get away with it. If you've got a lot of EMI, then you've got to come out of that. So let's go into 5 kilohertz, 5 kilohertz and 1 reactivity. Don't like it. 8 reactivity. Got a big bumblebee flying around me now. Barely sees it. So we leave it in 5. We leave it in 5 recovery, and just to go through the different frequencies to see. This is on a small target. If it was on a big target, the smaller frequencies would be better. So 5 kilohertz. Trying 10 kilohertz. One way. 15 kilohertz. A little bit better again. 20 kilohertz. A bit louder, but still one way. 40 kilohertz. I don't like it 40 kilohertz though. And then multi-frequency. Yeah. So that's it, that's your recovery speed. Oh. Go out, have a play, enjoy it. You can't go far wrong no matter what settings you put in. But 2 tones, I've only used it a couple of times. I prefer my 5 tone, which is adjusted to a 4 tone program. And that's because I've done a 4 tone program because a lot of targets come in between 8 and 12. A lot of targets come in there for some reason. And I was fed up, I keep getting 1 tone there and 1 tone there. So I was getting the signals going medium tone, high tone, you know, it kept jumping around, it blows your ears off and it makes you not want to dig the target because it makes it sound iffy. It's not iffy, it's just going through the different tones. So it just makes it a bit easier on the ears. But it's a cracking machine, loving it. I just thought I'll put a link to my program in the description, so if you want to use my program, it's ideal. What I do, I use just that program, that's all I use, which is a great mid-range sort of program. And then if you adjust like I just said, to suit the ground that you're on, you don't need to do anything else. Simple, keep it simple, find the goodies. Could have a drink now. Iron bias, you're better off having your iron bias at about 2. You still might get a little bit of iron come through, but oh, the wind's blowing now. You still might get a little bit of iron coming through, but you're not going to miss nothing. Some people say they have it at 4, the iron bias, and it is a quieter search, it's easier to use, it's less noisy, so you could choose that. But then if you get into a good area, drop your iron bias down to about 1 or 2. But that's it, have fun. That's the main thing, have fun and enjoy it. Ignore all the bloody moaners on Facebook. Metal detecting wars in it, everyone's arguing about my machine's better than your machine, mine goes deeper, mine's faster. Oh, for God's sake, just ignore it, go out there and enjoy it. Right then, I'm going to have another little dabble. I'll see you in a bit. Have fun.